Hello, my name is Eli Swart, and I am the field application scientist for Geneyx. And what we wanted to do is provide a demonstration on the graphical in-house CNV representation, which became available in the version 5.14 release. And so ultimately, what this does is it allows you to visualize the event overlap of your sample of interest with other samples that share overlapping events. And so if we take a look into a given analysis, what I've done is I've utilized some filter logic to get down to a couple CNVs of interest. And as you can see, we have the in-house database, which again will identify events in other samples that overlap your sample of interest. And so what we wanted to do with this version release is actually improve this a little bit more to have some visualization capabilities, as well as include some additional metrics. And so, ideally, if you are looking for relevant CNV events, you would want to eliminate those that are commonly observed in other samples. And so in this example, we are filtering to basically have a local variant frequency under 10 observed events in other samples. And we're getting down to 9 events. And you can see we also have some classifications being pulled in from ClinVar. Now, what I wanted to highlight for this version is when you click on the individual event. So if we were to click on this value 2, now what it does is it shows you the samples the event is observed in. So in this example, we can see we have 2 different cases. One has some phenotypic information associated with it, one doesn't. And you can actually see the affection status. So in this case, we have 2 mothers. One is unaffected and the other one is affected. And now we have these essentially 3 new columns. One is the percent analysis variant overlap. So that's saying this particular event is the event in your sample. So gray is your event in your sample of interest, and blue is the event observed in the other sample. And so what this does is it breaks down into percentages. So basically, if you have a full overlap of your event with your basically your event of your other samples, you'll get a value of 100% or less, depending on the overlap there. Alternatively, if you were to take your particular event and create a percentage of overlap compared to the event in your sample, this would be the percentage, so percent variant overlap. So this has a lot of utility. We have a nice visualization capability now, but also it can provide supporting evidence whether or not your candidate event is worth reporting on. So for example, if it's observed in affected samples only, it could correlate to the particular phenotype of your patient. Alternatively, if it's present in unaffected samples, you could use that as evidence to exclude it from the report. So again, this was the graphical representation of the in-house CNVs, and it is now available in version 5.14.